Hello, and welcome back to Teacher Gimble's channel. Today, I've pulled up my webcam because I want to show you about the website that I talked about on the last video. Now, if you're new here, or if you came to this video because you watch my math videos, I'm a math teacher turned nonprofit director, and I just created a new website, which I'm going to show you today, Rate Your Principles. You can learn more about it in my first video that you'll find on my podcast. I just also got a fancy new microphone, so hopefully the vocals are better. But let's jump right in. So the website I decided to create was rateyourprinciples.org. We're a nonprofit, actually, which means we require people's donations, grants, funding from external parties in order to keep our product running. One of the reasons a lot of people ask me, why did I choose a nonprofit versus being a for-profit company, is because I never want this website to be brought out. I read that on Yelp and on Glassdoor, and I'm not saying these things are 100% true. I just read somewhere that companies can pay for bad reviews to be taken down. And if teachers are going to rate their principals, I want this to be an honest product where teachers can tell the truth and where it can be a tool that can be used across the country for all schools and for all principals. And I don't want it to be something that will be manipulated so principals can take it down or districts can take it down. This is the voice of the teachers for the teachers. All right. Let's get started. So the URL of our website is rateyourprincipal.org. You can see it up here. And when you enter the website, it looks like this. We have our Welcome to Rate Your Principles, and let's get started. Now, if you wanted to read about who we are, we drag down, we can read about who we are. And we have a few different options. Option number one is you can find a principal. So if you click on this button, you'll come here to find a principal. Now we are building this up so you can search by school as well, but everything takes a lot of time and we're still a small team. So if I'm looking for a specific principal, so the principal at my old school, her name was Kara Fuller. So I'm just going to type her name in. I'm going to see what happens. I get my little loading button, loading, and there we go. We have her name, we have her school, and we have the state that she's in because it was Washington, D.C. I click on her and I see she does not actually have any reviews now. We need a few more teachers to review this principal before we can show reviews. Now, we're not ever going to post only 1 or 2 reviews just because that doesn't protect the anonymity of the teachers who are posting reviews. So that means some teachers have actually already reviewed this principal, but we need a few more. Now, if I was still a teacher, I could click Rate My Principal, and the website would ask for some pretty basic information about where I was, and then I would go ahead to rate. But since I'm not a teacher, something I can do is I can type in any teacher's email address into this email bar and invite that teacher to rate the principal. So theoretically, I could invite my own teacher if I was a student. I could invite a colleague if I had a colleague I knew at the school, or if I was a parent, I could invite teachers to submit their rating too. So this sends an email that anonymously invites a teacher to rate this principal, which means you can invite anybody who you want. And I've actually invited a few different teachers from different schools using this button myself, and they won't know that the email comes from you. All right, let's talk about what happens if a principal does have a review. So I'm going to go back to find a principal, and I'm going to type in a name of a principal that I know has reviews. Let me think. Stephen Miller. I believe Stephen Miller. He's the principal at, I would like to say, Eastern High School in Washington, D.C., and I believe he has reviews posted. So I click on him. Loading. So he has a review posted. So we see Principal Stephen Miller at Eastern High School. He received an overall B-. So a B- is the overall grade based on all of the reports that were submitted. I could then look and I say, okay, leadership and communication. I click down and these are the individual questions that teachers answered. So he got a relatively high scoring for the principal often communicates with staff. Some of the things, when it's a little bit lower or higher, it's usually communicates effectively with students and parents, and the principal sometimes effectively implements a plan. So this allows you to see some of the more specifics about how the principal would be as a boss at your school. If you're interested in student support and professional development, if you're interested in job satisfaction and job climate, you can look at all of these buttons here. Or you get a general sense from this B- above. Then on this side, I'm going to drag my face over, we have the anecdotes. So in these anecdotes, only verified teachers can upvote and downvote them. So if you agree with one of the anecdotes and you're a teacher at the school, you can hit this upvote and downvote. And actually, it's going to send you to exactly that same page just to send you a link to upvote and downvote them so that we can verify you on our end. Going back, we're back here. It has all of the anecdotes. All of these anecdotes are written by teachers who are verified working at Eastern High School this year. So we can look at these and decide if this is somebody you might want to work with or someone you don't. If you do see something, so we check everything for hate speech or violence, things that are in our not privacy policy, but in our standards for these anecdotes. But if you see something that's offensive or is blatantly untrue, you can always click report this and select your problem and submit us a report. Let's see what else we have on this website. Now, because this is a tool for you to find a new school, we also have a few different buttons. So if you are in, say, Washington, D.C. right now and you're looking for a principal, you could start by browsing highest rated principals. So right here, we have all of the teachers or all of the principals who already received ratings. If a principal has not received a rating, they're not going to end up on this list. Principals without rating are not shown. But principals who have received ratings, we'll see them here. And so you can see all of these principals received A's. And then as you get down, it's sorted by highest. We can go down to lowest. And we've got some principals down here who received F's. It's interesting for me. I actually go through and I read the different reports that the teachers put in, because you can see that sometimes a principal, and I just clicked on one that I know has longer reports, teachers have a lot of feelings and they really describe what the principal is and what the culture of the school is, and you get a really good sense of where it's at. You can also go to some of the more negative reviews if you want to see what's happening at that school, and you can get a pretty good sense of what's actually happening at that school. Would you want to work there? Are these things, do you think they're important things? Do you think they're not important things? This one says, she doesn't come to observe me, and once we get our evaluations, my scores were really low. But reading the anecdotes, you can see, do all these teachers who submitted anecdotes, do they agree, or do they not agree? And that gives you a pretty good sense of whether or not you might want to work at that school. The second button we have, and then this one will work better as we get more reviews submitted, is the browse the highest rating school districts. So here you can see, we click on it, and it's going to rate by school districts. Right now, I actually have to fix this. I made this bug, but it will be fixed by the time I post this video. We only have Washington, D.C. because we actually have only been live for D.C. teachers for the past few weeks. So we don't have other districts here yet, although you're allowed to submit ratings from anywhere in the U.S. So if you're looking to move to a new place, if you're in an area with a few different districts, so if you're in Maryland and it's PG County, Montgomery County, DC, all in the similar area, and you want to choose which district you think has the best principals, the best schools, the best places you're going to be supportive, browse highest rating to school districts is where you're going to go. Now let's look at some of our other buttons. We have our About Us page. So if you're curious and you don't want to watch all of my YouTube videos about us, you can come to this page and learn about our vision, how it works, why it matters. And if you have any more questions, you can hit our FAQs. FAQs are all of our important questions, things you might ask. What do you do if you don't find a principal? Is a platform only for public schools? No, it's not. It's for charter schools, it's for private schools. If you don't see your principal up there, submit it, and we'll make the principal go up there. Sometimes getting a list of all of the private schools isn't as comprehensive as the public schools. So occasionally we're missing a few, but we'll always upload them. We talk about our verification process, all of the FAQs you might have. Finally, we are nonprofit. We are a donation-run company. So we have our donation page. If you'd be interested in making a donation, you can come on over here. But I think the website looks nice. We've been working on updating it for a few weeks now, so it's really exciting that it's finally finished. We are working on uploading the information for all of the states, so all of the principals are going to be there, but it's exciting to see this website here. In my next video, I'm going to go over some of the FAQs, kind of clearly state some of the questions that you might have, but I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to use Rate Your Principal. If you have a question, please put it in the comments below. I will answer any of the questions you have, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Also, I'm supposed to say this in every video, please like and subscribe. Down in this corner, there should